So next deck of the day is this German UK Fury aggro deck. So one of the changes in the most recent balance update was to Valentine Mark III. 3K124 Fury. It's had its operation cost reduced. So in the past, I've always tried to build decks around the German kind of equivalent of that card, the Stug 4. But always found that, of course, it just always felt a little too clunky with its 2 operation costs. And we have something that's not quite as strong in the Valentine Mark III, but the fact that it has 1 less operation cost is quite huge. So works really well with cards like Encirclement, along with things like GREIF and Blitzkrieg and Pursuit, to allow us to really like push out a lot of damage very quickly and suddenly. And I just kind of went a little bit full meme a little bit with that idea of Fury units. There's actually a lot of Fury cards between the German and UK faction. So we got some Humber Mk IIs here for our 1-drop instead of the typical Panzer II-As that you might see. We have a couple of first airborne here as well. Just 2, because I feel like, again, I didn't want to go full meme. We're going pretty full meme, but not quite all the way. It just dies to too many things, and if it gets pinged, it just becomes this big, clunky, crappy like unit in the back line. But you have a couple of these in the back because they can snowball. They also enable our Panzer 35Ts. But I had some #1 commandos instead. I think are better overall. It's quite possible like we just want a full set of those and like get rid of this and put it in for something else. Other than that, it's pretty much kind of a typical German aggro deck. We're just running these British Fury cards to go along with our stuff as payoffs. Yeah, we're trying 4 Pursuit. Like originally, this was based off of a tempo deck that was running things like Admiral Hipper and Panzer 4, sorry. Panzer 4 F2. This card, yeah, Panzer 4 F2. But I was like, well, it may as well just be Pursuit because it's just cheaper and it enables our early game to like really reach its full potential. So we're trying that out. There's a possibility we could cut some number of these cards in this deck and make way for like Iron from the North, and that would let us get like down a turn 2 Valentine Mark III, which we could then maybe like encircle at some point. I guess we don't do much with it that turn, but I don't know. There's possibilities. So yeah, we're trying this stuff out. FALLSCHIRMJAGER is like not a particularly great card. That could be a trim for just something else. Maybe From the Deep's not great in this aggro deck that's usually doesn't want to be holding up resources, but it can tag like big nasty guard units. So there's a little bit of experimentation in this deck, but I think the overall game plan is sound. So we'll see if we can run people down with our cool Fury units. See how well we do at that. All right. This was the person that was playing the Soviet-US tempo deck or aggro deck, whatever. Yes, yes. That's a bit speculative. I think we're actually the control deck in this matchup, so I'd rather not worry about that. We're not gonna. We have 3 of those to draw into when we see that they are a war production deck. That's a tough start for us to beat, actually. I'm actually gonna throw out the GREIF, I think. Maybe that's wrong. They'd have to top deck a whatchamacallit for that to be really bad. I have a feeling we're gonna run into a lot of these sorts of decks today. We're playing one ourselves because this card was recently buffed. Buffed, sort of. It just does less damage to you. Doesn't really matter. These decks either win or lose in the early game based on this stuff. Okay, so do this. That's tempting with the From the Deep in hand, but we can't hold up both. I guess we'll just do this. That was a heck of a top deck from them. I guess it wasn't really a top deck. They drew a bunch of cards, but still. What is our plan here? Guess we have to push that back. Trade with the tank. Move this up to delay them a little bit. We're going all out. Yeah, there's not much we can do here. I think we're just dead. We need another sudden strike. But that's probably not gonna come. Nope, that's it. We can't do anything else. Close game. So they just kill us with their tank. We only had 3 HP left. They had a really good start. Obviously, the War Production deck had War Production on turn 1, so they were able to snowball from there. Where are we? Here we are. Good chance we play something like what our opponent's doing next week. Might be the thing that gets you to get to Field Marshal with Soviets nice and quickly this season. I kind of like this. I'm probably supposed to toss this back looking for something else. This can help us find something meaningful. Yeah, there we go. FLAMMPANZER. Let's just play another one. Okay, our opponent's on like playing more of a control deck, it looks like. This is gonna be insane next turn if these both somehow live, which I doubt it. Yeah, they're just trading away. I'll play this out before anything else. Already have a Valentine. The other one's not going to be worth much. I think a second FLAMMPANZER might be okay, since they showed us that they're running 1k units, and they might be an aggro deck that just had a slow start. If they found the Signal Regiment, it's also pretty good. Yeah, our opponent took away our dream. It's okay. We might get to Blitzkrieg our Valentines. And won't that be a treat? Our opponent's being very, very mean. As much as I want to keep this Valentine around, I think I need to, like, I'd rather have a unit that has a high health total, just so we don't die to something silly like, desperate measures or a well-placed bombing raid. Are they dead? We can go 1, 2. We can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, probably not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 16 damage, and this actually kills them next turn if we have the front line. I think that's a bit speculative and a little risky. We can do this though, which is like still pretty good. And we also draw a card. Welcome, Simon Philpa. Remember that bombing raid I said we played around? Remember? Remember? Alright. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I think we're in a fine spot. Ah, come on. I wanted to fury that other thing. Valentine is furious. I think most of the time you want to just draw into Blitzkrieg. That's why there's, you know, so many of them in the deck. Probably want something other than that. That's probably fine. That's a great draw, because if we're facing an aggressive opponent, we'd like some way to deal with their early game. I think I'll do this, other than playing this into a potential careless talk. I think that's the same thing. We're probably going to get hit by a FLAMMPANZER here, but I mean, not much you can do about that. Just play out our Panzer III-H next turn, see what we can find. I see. I think I still play this. Encirclement. I don't have much to encircle. Wouldn't be awful with this, I guess. We have that. It's not that great. I think I'm supposed to take the FLAMMPANZER here. I actually kind of hope he encircles this and fires. Yeah, I think we just want to get rid of that. Definitely would have preferred not to use my unit to shoot that, but I could use one of these, but we have FLAMMPANZERs in hand, so I think I'll save these for other things that we have. Do I have some infantry in this deck? Yep, right there. Sorry, I know that there's a bit of a delay. I'm not sure why my stream... I've done nothing to my stream settings, so for some reason there's like a delay now all of a sudden. I'll have to look to fix that sometime soon. Well then. Just gonna have to use that as a cantrip. I could also see him just... he'll probably shoot this and then trade this off, develop his board a bit more. Yeah, our draws have not lined up well into theirs. They're definitely a little bit more of a mid-range deck. You know what I didn't do? I didn't update the deck command, which reminds me. We're gonna do that after this match. What is their plan? It's a pretty good plan, I suppose. Yeah, these draws have been pretty bad. Wonder if we could probably like cut a pursuit, maybe even a blitzkrieg, honestly. Nah, just like kills. We can just steal games out of nowhere with our fury units. It's probably just a pursuit that we want to cut in favor of something else, just like more removal. Tactical strike, maybe. Kind of feel like we're never beating that thing, so let's just get rid of it. Can you play some 2-cost units, opponent? I'd really appreciate it. He does the opposite of that. I don't know. Maybe we can kill him out of nowhere with blitzkriegs and like an encirclement. I feel like I would just clog the front line, honestly, if I was him. Yeah, I think we can go ahead and call it. They're gonna get to move this up, shoot, deal another 10. We have no outs at this point. I could definitely see cutting like maybe those 2 first airbornes for another #1 commando to help us fight the front line. And then this seems okay. Something other than that maybe. And then putting in 2 tactical strikes. No, I think I want 2 sudden strikes. I definitely wouldn't want 3 because you don't want to draw too many of them. But I feel like I just want access to something that can cleanly answer units that like get like really huge buffs and just other problematic 1 drops or problematic 2 drops or less. Huh. Like I could see a 3rd sudden strike being a little bit too much, but I think I like the the number that we have. So what do we do? What do we do here? Do we just drop the Valentine and hope to encircle it and start going crazy? Hello, Blue Blast. Welcome, welcome. I could just draw a card with Panzer III-H to help us make that decision a little better. Ooh, more cards to draw. I think I want the autocannon though, right? Yeah, pretty much. We're just looking to like Valentine. We just have a whole. This is like a Fury meme deck. We got like all the Fury tanks from Britain plus a few troops, and we're just looking to encircle them and blitzkrieg them. I guess that's free. And then I can go like this and this. From the Deep's pretty good if they have like... They might have Grenadier Guards on 6, so we can put this on our turn 6 and hopefully get them with that. Uh-oh. Alright, that's not bad. Well, unfortunately... I was hoping they'd trade into here, but they didn't. So these 2 things can actually kill our 2 Valentines. But now they might not have a clean answer for this. I mean, obviously they could be running things like Patrol and Gunship Mission, but maybe I just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 this turn. And they're going to take the front line and I'm going to feel bad, so maybe I can't do that. Guard unit be damned. I think we just hope they don't have it and then, like, get close enough. Because these are just going to die anyway, right? We just want to maximize our damage and then hopefully autocannon plus our units can, like, finish them off. I don't know. Hello, New World Designer. I guess if they're killing these, they're not playing a guard unit, right? So that's fine. I still draw a card with that, so that's fine. Okay, so they're dead. Let's go back a little bit to the drawing board with this. Just put in some more. Do we think these first airbornes are good? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're on theme, and they also enable our Panzer 35T, so maybe they're not the worst. This Fallschirmjäger is probably hot nonsense, as the card usually is or has been for the last little while. Could see cutting it for like for a tactical strike, and a pursuit maybe. What do we think? How many infantry is that? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to enable our Panzer 35T. 8 technically, because GREIF does it as well, even if it's not permanent. That's probably fine. I'm pretty good. How are you doing, sir? I don't know. I kind of want to keep the Fallschirmjäger because it's another blitz unit that works well with encirclement, and we're just this is a Fury aggro deck. We're memeing it up with the Fury aggro here. We probably don't even need we don't need the Comet, right? No, like that's silly. The Comet can be so good in certain situations. We're probably okay. What did I cut? Pursuit? 4 pursuit is still probably too much. As good as it can be, though. Because, like, Valentine on 3, pursuit, bounce their thing, move up, deal 4 damage is, like, pretty good. Yeah, I think Blue Blast and myself convinced... Here's the thing. We started the deck with it. We may as well just keep playing with it and then decide, is it too much? Because my initial thought was exactly that. You go Valentine on 3, Pursuit on 4, take the front line, deal a lot of damage. I'm interested in making a combined arms version at some point as well. Because I think the British have a lot of interesting cards that you can add to this archetype to make combined arms more interesting. You have the #1 commando to fill in the infantry slot. You have albacores to fill in a bomber. I think albacores are okay in a deck like this. If you have Panzer II Cs, turning them into 2/2 bombers as well as the Fury bomber that the British have can be quite fun. Probably don't need 2 of those in the opener. That's probably enough for a 1-drop. Actually, we probably don't want pursuits in the opener against what's probably going to be an aggressive deck. Let's do this. I could see... What's better, do you think? I don't know. Let's try the first airborne because it's more fun. FLAMMPANZER's nice. I could see... You're probably supposed to keep the 1-3 tank against... Manila, against the Japanese HQ, but... Okay, another #1 commando's nice. This gets out of their raiding brigade range, pretty quickly. So that's nice. Next turn, we're gonna like kill one of their units with our #1 commando, play another #1 commando, maybe FLAMMPANZER the other unit. Just gonna depend on what they do. This thing plus pursuit can like start getting nasty. I'm gonna put these 2 on this side because I don't want him bombing my first airborne. A NACHSCHUB would be a really nice top deck, assuming that he doesn't bombing raid our stuff. He could also Desperate Measures, I suppose. What's our play next turn? Is it just FLAMMPANZER this, shoot this? It could also be Pursuit, go wild with the first Airborne, but I don't know that that's the case. Now it might be Pursuit and start doing stuff. Get that out of hand. Let's get rid of... No, let's do you first. So I don't want this to hit the first Airborne. Of course it did. That's fine. If they can't take that off the table, are they just dead? Probably not. But we have nice follow-ups here in like 22nd Infantry and Comet. Ugh. That's kind of annoying though. I guess we should just play this out, huh? To trade into that. I hate that card so much, by the way. I think we just need to try to kill him out of nowhere rather than draw cards. Our two golden boys here. Shoot our HQ and play another fighter. He's not quite dead to this, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This can attack once. Well, we can't anymore. FALLSCHIRMJAGER's not awful. Ah, this is probably wrong. I'm probably just supposed to play a 22nd. Well, yeah, they clogged up the front line, though, right? Now we have to go for it. So how much damage is this? That's 6, 12, 5, 10. They are dead, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think our opponents probably could have predicted what we were doing, and they could have tried to slow us down by just trading one of their fighter with one of our units. But I don't know the composition of their hand, so maybe they just figured, I gotta hope he doesn't have it, and we can burn them out the next turn. Like maybe his hand was just all blitzkrieg, air blitz, you know. Maybe he figured he was dead either way, and he forced us to have it, which is probably a reasonable thing to do, depending on what he had. That's a solid curve, especially if they have a 1-drop for us to kill with the FLAMMPANZER. I think I'll keep. I guess this is bad against the Bloody Sickle deck, though, huh? But sometimes they don't have Bloody Sickle, so let's just hope they don't have it. They have it. Okay. That card's never like really good, I guess. Maybe I'm just supposed to mulligan it and hope we don't draw it. Yeah, they always have it. They always have it. I guess we'll FLAMMPANZER that in hopes that this is going to draw us more cards over the course of the game. Because I don't want to just have their albacore, or whatever that thing's called, Arado, trade into this. Not ideal. Same goes for all this junk that they're putting on the field now. Can just draw, actually. Alright. That cleans up the eye shack. These aren't very impressive right now, but we could get to a state where, like, we drop... These could be our leftovers, and then we have a bunch of Blitzkriegs in hand. And they could, like, kill them out of nowhere. Depending on what they do. Ah, yes. I guess they're going to get to just bomb us and play from the people, but that takes up their whole turn. They're going to hammer. Alright. Deal Areno. Yeah. No, it's true. Okay. Now he's given us a window to stick our 22nd. And he's down 2 Bloody Sickles, so hopefully this sticks. I think I'm going to play the Panzer 35T while I can, though. Just in case. Kind of wanted to just shoot with this and play out a Humber and leave this as like a blitzy threat. You know, a surprise threat in hand, but I think this is where we want to be. Wait, doesn't he have he still has a from the... No, he used the from the people on the 1-3, right. I know what I'm doing. I'm paying attention. That's pretty good. I think we just, like, play out stuff. Carpet bombing. Just because. Why, hello there. That must be death, right? That has to be death. We're just gonna play everything out anyway. That sound effect. Pew 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 pew. Remember when I said those Humbers could end up being leftovers that we then kill him out of nowhere with a Blitzkrieg? Yeah. That happens sometimes. Well, it's one of the swingiest cards in the game, that's for sure. If your metric for what a good card is consistency, it's a pretty low value. It's a pretty bad card. But yeah, I wouldn't agree that it's the worst card in the game, but personally, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do. Comet's pretty good against a bomber deck, so I'm gonna keep it. I guess this is bad on the draw because he could have Albacore. I did say at the start of this set that I included this mostly for the meme potential. Yeah, but that was before the Valentine Mark III buff. Come on, guys. This is a whole new world we're living in now. Do I just grief? That's stupid, right? Griefing now is stupid? I'm griefing. What a griefer. That's extra rude. That is extra rude. Not only did he, like, shut this thing off and basically made it a useless unit, he then, like, ruined basically the rest of my game. Blockaded. This is such a rude card. You know what? Deal. Useless card I was never gonna operate anyway? Deal. Deal, Reno. Hey, look at that. We found a reasonably priced Mark III. This will get its cost reduced back eventually when we replay it. Oh, he's playing Resistance. That explains why he's playing such miserable cards. Because he's a miserable person. Boop, boop, boop. I see a FLAMMPANZER target. Opponent's like, yeah, I don't want to die to Fury stuff, so I guess that's the one I'll kill. And I'm like, bruh, hold my beer. So we'll play you and get rid of these. Obviously that's bad if he top decks exactly Liberation, but I don't think we're in a bad spot even if he has Liberation here. Really, we're looking to dodge... Okay, that's fine, though. Really, we're looking to dodge... We're looking to dodge, whatchamacallit? Carpet bombing. There's what I was looking for. That Panzer III-H finding Blitzkriegs when you need it. Mwah, perfect. Two encirclements is a little speculative. We're also on the draw. There's no telling what he's playing. Pardon me. He could be playing a lot of free 1-1 blitz infantry for all I know. Clogging up the front line. Yeah, let's do something like this. That looks more reasonable. He's playing Soviet UK bombers. That's kind of scary. Hello. Who's pinging me? I either hit one of his things or for one measly damage, or I just try to develop the board a little bit more. Obviously, he's going to have a bloody sickle, but maybe it's worth doing. Worth noting, this is an awful encirclement target. That is the greediest thing I've ever seen! Opponent, what are you doing? You deserve everything that's coming your way for the rest of this match. Yeah, I think we use this as a double removal. We just catch up. The question is, am I trading or am I killing another bomber? We have this, we have like other things to encircle later, but the bomber is so weak and useless. What do you guys think? I feel like I'm trading. I feel like I'm supposed to trade with the Katyusha. I'm gonna trade with the Katyusha. No, I want him to spend. No, maybe I want him to spend a resource. Finishing my thing off. Okay. This is for sure getting played, I think, because he can't attack it and I can encircle, kill a bunch of things. Yeah, I agree, but that's not happening till turn 6. I could move this up. I think that's greedy. I could play this as a distraction. I think that's also not where I want to be. Let's just end the turn here. It kind of feels bad not spending all of our resources, but I think we can make up for it. That's a Humber that's just gonna get eaten by this. But we can go move this up, encircle it, eat you, play this. Good luck, Godspeed. I guess he's obviously a Patriotic Firestorm deck, right? But maybe this will work. So next turn, on turn 6, we can play this, move it up, encircle it, fire with it. We can wait till turn 7 to be able to hit 2 things, which I think is worthwhile. Oh, he just has nothing. That's great for us. It does mean that these 22nd infantries are a little bit yeah. I think I'm okay with playing 1. Because, like, if we find a Blitzkrieg, we just kill him out of nowhere. No Blitzkrieg. I'm gonna hold that up because guard units. I'm also gonna move this up because damage, and if he kills it, he probably doesn't want to kill it. But even if he does, it's fine. Well, that sucks. I guess it was obvious because we could have attacked with more units. Encirclement. Does that do it? Could move up the Fallschirmjäger, encircle it, attack with it twice. You probably want to do something like... Oh man, it's close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is 12, so it's not quite enough. We're like slowly dying to this other thing. I think we're supposed to do this. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10. No. Well, we gotta take that thing out, yeah. I feel... As bad as it's gonna feel, I think we need to throw the Comet at this KV-1. And hope that our Valentines can get us there. Valentines plus card draw can get us there, maybe. It's really too bad we haven't seen a single Blitzkrieg in however many draws. Alright. GG. Three Blitzkriegs, couldn't find them in the top, couldn't find one in the top whatever cards of our deck. It was a good game, though. It's fun. I think I kind of like all of this. Maybe we don't want... Maybe we want something else besides these. Just like more ways to ensure that we can actually get the front line. Oh boy, now I really hope we can get the front line. I guess we'll play the Valentine out next turn. Probably Panzer III-H the following turn if he doesn't, if it's not still alive by then. Probably won't be. That's another Valentine. These are still fine encirclement targets. Just like pressure him out of the game. Yeah. I think I like this. Oh, right, that gets fully repaired. Maybe I was supposed to be more aggressive with that. It's got Blitz too, so it's not the greatest pursuit target, but it is expensive. That's a From the Deep, though. Well, we know what his top deck was. How expensive is that thing? It's 7 to operate, so he can't play this and then take the front line at the same time. Okay, so I'm assuming we're going to see that infantry unit and an attack. We can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We can play all of that. That's pretty good. Darn! He drew another guard unit. That's enough though, right? That was a close one. I've been having fun with this. Let's do one more. We'll do one more and then we'll switch to the next deck for the day. Yes, yes. That's probably fine. Look for other things for now. Sure. Go 1, 2, 3. Probably kill one of their bombers. Or they might be on the Commando's plan. Poor first Airborne. This thing just gets eaten by too many things. I'm probably going to end up cutting those for like a third #1 commando and then just like something else. I'll keep the FLAMMPANZERs in hand for now. I'll start playing them out soon. Just so we can actually start applying pressure. Because we probably don't need 2 in hand. Let's do this. So like on commandos then. They could be playing the meme. Okay, they're playing meme. Won't work though, right? Because we have a death touch unit in the front line. I guess it's the first thing that they're gonna pin. Whoop. Now I wish I kept that pursuit. Oh, I guess he increased the cost of our cards by a ton. What was he playing that increased the cost of our cards by so much? Raid, okay. Well, at least he can't kill us next turn, but he like we're probably just dead. Well, we definitely need to take the front line, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We could play this too, but it doesn't really do much. Oh, okay, cool. Because that's a card now. Silly, silly stuff. So now we have baby combo and that we have to deal with, ladies and gentlemen. These degenerate combo decks. To be fair, if I had my pursuit, we would have had time to deal with that, I suppose. I think, I really would want to keep these, but I don't think it's right. Let's try it anyway. Yeah, that's a pretty good turn too. If he does nothing again, probably gonna play the Valentine. Okay. Sudden Strikes hits so many key cards in this format. I think they're just really good right now. I'm putting my money on that he has a missing, so might have to play around that. Oh. Oh. Problem is we're going to lose one to the Commandos. I could Pursuit, though. That's probably what we want to do. Then we can play GREIF, Encircle, shoot him a bunch. Or just kill him. Cool. All right, that's gonna do it for me, for that deck anyway. So yeah, pretty reasonable aggro deck, I think. As we talked about in those games, I think first Airborne didn't really pull its weight. That's something I'd consider changing for the future. FALLSCHIRMJAGER as well. While this is a very good card with Encirclement, it's very expensive to actually get the guaranteed value off of it. Because things like Valentine, you're safer, and even like to a degree this Humber, you're safer just running them out because they have so much more toughness. But something like this, you can't just run out and then hope to encircle it the following turn. So it usually just ends up like underperforming. Honestly, I almost wish that they would change this card to like a 2/3. I think it would be so much better in those cases, Because right now, it's just like an all or nothing kind of card. Either it just feels like when you can't get it off the table, it's insane. But because it's so easy to do so, most of the time it just ends up like doing nothing. I feel like if the devs wanted to make this card see more play, you'd make it a 2/3 just so it has a little bit more survivability. Maybe it would be too good as an anti-aggro card in that case, especially in the aggro mirrors, but I don't know. Like, this is like one of like a pretty underplayed elite, so I don't think I think I'd try to see. Yeah, Pursuit was pretty good most of the time. Still not convinced all 4 copies are where we want to be, but definitely some number of Pursuit this deck wants. Probably Autocannon sticks around because you want a way to get around guard units and just gives you that little bit more form of reach. Because of that, though, I feel like Comet might actually be a consideration for a cut in this deck. The fact is that if you're not winning, like if you're winning the game with units, you're probably doing it with your Fury units with Blitzkrieg rather than Comet. Obviously, Comet is a sustained source of damage over time, but ultimately the way most games play out, it's probably not like getting you a ton of value, and you lose a lot of tempo with this card too. And this deck's actually pretty good at gaining tempo via things like Encirclement and Pursuit. So I'd have to see, you'd have to really see how your games play out a lot and determine whether or not this Comet was actually worth the slot. I feel like it probably isn't. That's just my gut instinct. Whereas in other aggro decks, I feel like it could be good. In this one, it just feels like probably not necessary. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about that. I would probably like think about these first Airborne, FALLSCHIRMJAGER, put in another #1 commando to deal with problematic units that are preventing us from taking the front line, or even in some cases, this is a great encirclement target to deal with like guards or other things. Bombers. Yeah, maybe the From the Deep is fine. It can be tricky holding up 2 resources. Sometimes you don't typically want to be doing that in your aggro deck, but this is kind of like this is not your typical aggro deck. It really is like a tempo deck, really. It probably better named like Fury Tempo. I guess that's about it. That's probably all I have to say about it. For the most part, I think this list is pretty reasonable, it seems to me. Alright, so that's going to do for now.